The virgin pencil shall be sharpened for the first time. Hello! Today I'm going to talk all about drawing with pencils. And there are actually different types of pencil grades or types that you can use. I don't have a lot of them here. I tried to get as many of them I could find. I actually only use a cheap mechanical pencil when drawing with pencil. But I do know the techniques and stuff about drawing with normal pencils or basically art pencils. So I can tell you. I think I need to sharpen some of them a bit. Should have done that before the video. The virgin pencil shall be sharpened for the first time. Let me go wash my hand off. Oh my goodness. Alright. In pencils, you'll see ones that have an H and ones that have a B. This one is in the middle. It's an HB. But the H stands for hard and the B basically stands for soft. I know that makes no sense, but yes. So the harder your pencil is, the easier it will be to stay sharp, but you can create a lot darker tones with a softer pencil. Oh my gosh. I think my mechanical pencil is a harder pencil. I generally don't want to make too dark of tones when I'm drawing anyway, so that's why it's good for me. And here is, but you can see, there's lots of different pencil types. But do not worry, that might be like, oh no, I need all these different pencils. You do not need all these different pencils. It is definitely not important. You can make amazing pencil drawings with just one pencil. It's definitely not important at all, they just exist. Oh, I forgot to say, the normal pencil that people use in schools is an HB pencil, so that's just the in-between one, so it can be good for everything. This is really all you need is an HB pencil, and you're good. But I've seen people, when they first begin drawing, they try to just draw how they write. Here's me writing, and then they're just like drawing the same way. And they're just like, why can't I draw very good? Well, you need to sometimes hold your pencil different ways to achieve different shapes when you're drawing. Let me think of something. I'm trying to think of different hand positions for different shapes, because it's all kind of subconscious and I'm having a hard time thinking of them. But basically, don't just stick to the standard writing position. Let yourself move your hand around. And you can shade things by putting the pencil on the side like this. You can shade it going back and forth, or you can shade it doing little circle movements like this. You see how that creates sort of a different texture. So it depends on what you're shading and how you want it to look. When I shade stuff with my mechanical pencil, I can't really turn it to the side. I usually go on like somewhere like this to get it, have a little bit more of a surface area on the tip, and then I can create like really light hatching, and that creates like a really fine shading, and I like that better versus this pencil, which creates a little bit more of a rough shading. A thing that a lot of people like to do is they're like, okay, I want shading, so I'm just going to get my finger on the paper and smear some of the pencil to be the shading. That is, although some artists, there are even tools for that, for smearing pencil and creating like a more blended look, it's actually really bad to use that because it often like bleeds into areas that aren't supposed to be shaded because the beginner artist doesn't know doesn't have a clear idea of where the shading needs to be. So I actually have another video about shading that I'm going to link in this video, probably in the description, in the end card, in the little white circle in the corner right here. Because understanding shading and being able to do it without a lot of blending first is actually a lot better, and then you can blend stuff because then you know where the blending needs to be. But you don't want to jump right into blending. And also these tools help the blending to be a lot cleaner versus your finger, which can make it look really dirty. Like in my school, I didn't actually go to a school, but my correspondence art school, it was like a sin to blend with your finger, so I don't even want to do it as an example because I feel like I will be crucified and go to art hell for doing such a terrible deed. I wonder if this one can go really dark because it's a 4B. Whoa, look at that coverage. Look at that deep graphite color. Another thing you want to think of when drawing a pencil is you want to draw the initial lines very lightly so that they're easier to erase whenever you are going to add the final lines, because you don't want the guidelines to be visible. Okay, see how I erased here and it smeared a little bit? It's because my eraser is dirty. I think everyone that's used these kinds of erasers has had this problem. Get some kind of fabric or a towel, because that's what I have sitting here, and erase it onto it. Or you could do it onto your paper. You could erase it onto your paper. The thing that I like about the fabric though is it collects all the little excess pieces that you erase, so you don't have that garbage around. And then it's all clean and you can erase it again. I actually don't know if the smear showed up very well in the camera, but you know what I mean. Okay, there's two types of erasers that I know of. These ones that are very common, that are on the ends of like almost all pencils, except for the ones that I like to be annoying and have no erasers. And this one, which is a kneaded eraser, which is, at first, when I started to use it, I thought it was terrible. But it's actually, the more I have used it, the more I like it. Because not only can you mold it into the shape you want it to be, but it doesn't run out and it doesn't leave annoying shards everywhere. Over a long period of time, it does get old, but I think it lasts a lot longer than these kind. But I do still like to use this one for trying to get into small areas, because this one can be kind of difficult to do that with, so I use both. I think I'm actually going to try to do her hair with one of these pencils. See if I can give it some, oh dear, what is that? Some interesting texture. Hopefully you're seeing some different hand positions without me thinking about it and just doing it, and how it can create different results. I wasn't planning on drawing a picture for this video, but it sort of just happened. I didn't really need a hand protection in this picture because it's so small, but if you find yourself getting like that smeary thing on the side of your hand from drawing in pencil, you just get a piece of paper and you put it underneath, and when you're drawing, sort of let it slide around with you, and then it protects the picture. Oh, and don't brush your page off like this if there's like dust pellets or something on it. Dust pellets, what am I saying? If there's junk on it, just don't brush it off. I noticed it can smear things as well. Just blow things off, and that's a lot better for it. Something really cool that I learned in my art lessons is actually being able to transfer textures onto another piece of paper and using that in your drawings. I used it in a realistic picture I did of a shoe, and I used a leather notebook, kind of like this one, to do it. I'll pop the picture up here. And I think it turned out quite well, actually. I wouldn't have been able to create that leather texture just freehand. So you can get a piece of paper that you're drawing on. It's like the same thing that you do when you transfer leaves with a crayon when you're a little child. And you can transfer textures like this. Look how cool that is. You experiment around with different things in your house. I find leather to be really good at transferring. So I have all these leather examples. But then I thought of this. What if I could get this pattern from inside here? The only thing is it's a weird shape, so it'd be kind of hard. But look how cool this is. This is like one of the coolest things. I really should use it more, but I don't hardly do anything than just pencil. I usually just use pencil as mapping a picture out, and then I finish it and other stuff. But this is more for if you're actually going to finish a drawing in pencil, I think. Look how detailed that is. But if you really want to go hardcore, you can bring out a sword. I find that thinner paper is a lot better for this. I like to draw on a little bit thicker paper like cardstock, but thinner printer paper is a lot better for transferring textures. That's the only thing that's not that great about it, because thin paper isn't that great for keeping art and keeping it safe. I am crinkling this paper. Oh, look at, that's cool. This could be used to make a brick wall texture if you were doing like a landscape drawing. That'd be really cool. It's gonna be like a texture on an animal. I have no idea what you would do with this. Let me see if I can add texture to her and give her clothes with this. I don't know if I can get it. Probably have to clean this up at the end of it, but it might actually work. Like, if you had something like this that wasn't such a bad shape, it would work. That looks like a pretty cool texture, doesn't it? We should add some darkness to her eyes, the 2B pencil. I hope this video was useful to you for beginning drawing with pencil. And watch my video about shading. It's kind of an old tutorial, I'm just warning you, but it has some good information in it that I also learned from my drawing, from my art class. And sorry, I just got a text asking if I'm busy. I'm almost done being busy, but yes, I'm busy. Alright, I hope you have a great day. Bye!